Today there is an intruder in the house, and I don't want him to hear me, but I have to make this video because I don't want to disappoint. I think I heard him walk past my door. I don't want to disappoint you guys. Can you imagine if that actually happened? Like, if I had such a weirdly poor grasp of what I should be concerned and focused on, that upon hearing and confirming that there is genuinely some random stranger that is broken in and is mooching around my house doing things, weird and terrible things. I make it sound like he's humping my furniture, but you know what I'm saying, alright? And I'm just there in my office like, I really hope he doesn't hear me. Then again, actually, wouldn't it be a really good defense mechanism to actually remember to turn on the sound? Wouldn't it be a really good defense mechanism to actually genuinely do a video? Because, alright. You have just broken into someone's house, sorry. I keep using the reality warping powers of mine to put you in sudden terrible situations. I apologize for this, but at least you're not being mugged. You're kind of doing the mugging. Is that better or worse? If I told you, I'm gonna click my fingers in your direction, and then you're either gonna be getting mugged or mugging someone. Like, which one do you choose? That's a weird choice, right? But I think that is definitely the game show of the future. And before I get on to what I was gonna say, let's continue making our sweet, sexy synergy, because it's gonna be quite good. We're gonna grab ourselves Sagittarius, so our shots are most penetrative. I like that word. It's because it's got a lot of tra in the middle, you know. Penetrative. I've psyched myself out of being able to say it. Oh no. Alright, we're gonna lighten the mood with some light shots. Yeah. See, back when I did my paint color mixing, a lot of you were like, yeah, Rage, this is real cool. Like, that's definitely how you were talking. I could feel it from the comments. A lot of you were like, yeah, Rage, this is real cool, but why didn't you use the prism? And I was like, well, I thought about it, but the colors were too deep. It didn't look like proper mixing, but a lot of you did want to see some light prism. But I was like, I don't want to just do the same thing again, but with some prismy stuff. So can I do anything? And oh, did I end up just breaking everything? Like, just you wait to be king. Oh, I just can't wait to learn how to sing. Alright, so, I don't have a bomb, so I'm not gonna do that at all. That is a complete and filthy lie that I was about to spout upon you, and I apologize for it. I really genuinely apologize for it. So next floor, we'll get our prism some more. That's called the slow motion tactical damage technique. It's very advanced. Only the very best Isaac players in the world are capable of doing it. In fact, as I currently understand it, I'm the only person to have mastered such an impossibly difficult feat of hand-eye coordination and dexterity. So really, you should be in awe that you just saw that. You basically just saw a dolphin give birth. Look, I chose that out of the air because it seems to me that seeing a dolphin give birth would be quite an uncommon sight, because you're not often in dolphin birthing chambers. Am I going to say chambers? It's the fucking ocean. You're not often in the ocean watching You're not often watching things give birth, full stop, probably, but a rare creature, like a seahorse. Well, maybe in an aquarium you've watched a seahorse give birth, because that's probably quite interesting, being the only species the male gives birth. You know, that's something, I guess, is worth saying. But then again, even in one of those situations where it's like, tell us an interesting fact about you, even at that point, I don't think you should bust out, I once saw a seahorse give birth. Like, even at that point, in fact, I just don't think the sentence give birth, or the words at least, should ever be used outside of someone literally giving birth. Even then, maybe you could communicate it with hand symbols. Like, doctor, can I go in that room? No. Oh, ah. That was... that was my someone giving birth sound effects. I should never be in charge of sound effecting anything. But no, I in all seriousness, obviously there's nothing wrong with giving birth. It's a natural and beautiful process. The life being renewed, new life coming into the world. Oh, it's a glorious day. How cool is this, by the way? And honestly, all of the cool things that animals do to deal with that area of life is quite fantastic. I've been watching quite a few documentaries recently. In fact, I watched Planet Earth 2, which is just absolutely gorgeous, which is why I'm on this. I wasn't just randomly thinking about animal reproductive cycles today. However, you know, there was at least a method of rhyme in my madness, alright? But yeah, how cool is this? Like, is this not just fantastic? Like, there's so much colour to it. I absolutely adore it. Like, already it's pretty nice. And I like that whichever direction I fire in, a different colour takes over, except green, which doesn't seem to ever want to actually take over, but that's fine. We don't mind about green. We don't mind about green. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I love how in animals it's so unceremonious, right? Because in humans, when someone's giving birth, it's a big deal, right? You tell everyone, you ring people up, you're like, oh my god, the baby's coming, and then, you know, you rush to hospital, people are involved, there's multiple people there when it happens, you know, all of the well, I say machinery, it's not like we plug women into a wall socket and just let the robots do the work, but, you know, give it 10 years, but you know what I mean, it's a big affair involving lots of people, lots of stuff, in a specialized building for it, you know, all of that jazz, you know, humans making it as comfortable and as safe as possible. And in nature, there's various animals, the way it's time to give birth, it's just, and then the kid's there. You know, it's quick, messy, and over in seconds, and we're not going to take that any further. We could take that further, but we're not going to take that further, and I just think that little dichotomy is pretty cool, and I just don't give a shit. I mean, it's effectively like they are. Well, you know what I'm going to say. Either way, let's expand on this. Basically, what I'm saying is humans care too much, all right? I think that's the thing, because you get animals that just are walking along, and then, oh, the kid's here. Martha! Wait, no. Steve! Why am I... Am I a seahorse? Well, that came full circle pretty quickly. I wasn't even supposed to talk about that, you know? Those were supposed to be private thoughts because they're retarded. Okay, what am I doing in my life? Oh, yes, upgrading our synergy to loveliness. But yeah, what was I going to say is, you know, obviously the natural transition from whispering because someone's broken into to the huge difference between the way that animals give birth compared to humans. Obviously humans are also animals, but you know what I'm saying. It makes sense when I say that, and I realize I'm completely distracting myself from the truth. From the truth. We're going to grab ourselves anti-gravity, because mainly this looks cool when I leave it round, and then also zoom, it fires a really nice big little bolt, and then we can send it all going at the same time, and it looks pretty neat and all that. But what we want right here is to grab ourselves the void. We're also going to then obviously void everything, which will turn this into, well, I mean, as you can see, it's already pretty ridiculous. You can just create little broken things in the air, which although is pretty cool, right? Look, it's just going to be permanently there, sat there, doing its thing. It's kind of nice to just break the game like that. It's not actually the point of what we're doing. I know, breaking the game in that sense, well, to be fair, it's going to be similar, just not exactly the same. I realize I'm not making much of the whole sense thing here, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is grab a few more little items. Yes, indeed. We're going to grab ourselves the analog stick. We're going to grab Loki's horn and Mum's eye. And See what I mean? It's just like, look, like, how, like, why? Why does it do this? What purpose has this served? Does anybody know? I don't know. That's just it. They're just stuck in the air now, forever trapped. And then you could obviously just keep it going forward, and it's just so weird and broken. Like, look at it go. Oh man, it's complete. You ever regret talking about something? I'm just sat here trying to remember my synergy and put it together, and in the back of my mind, all I can think of, all my brain is screaming at me is, why the hell did you talk about animals giving birth for so long? And I can't get away from it. I want to stop thinking about it, but I can't. I can't. You know when you say something and everyone goes silent and you realize you just said something stupid? What were you thinking? Right? It just slips out and you can't help it. You've embarrassed yourself. What's the decision now? How are you going to recover from it? And all I can see here, just yelling at myself, why did I choose to talk about that in Synergy Lab? What possible reason possessed me so powerfully that I just was compelled to talk about an animal unceremoniously plopping out a child onto the savannah? And I'm really mad at myself because I just couldn't stop. You know when you're in too deep and the only way out is through the other side? That's what happened to me. I just don't understand why. I will never watch a nature documentary again. I've been burnt one too many times. I can't focus at all. I'm just sat here constantly looping the last 10 minutes of my life over and over, thinking what could I have done differently to avoid this situation. I could of course edit it out and redo this and think of something else hopefully to say, but a part of me wants to leave it here as a life lesson to my future self to not be a moron. And now we have the double awkward of everyone who was sat there going, well, I didn't mind it, you know, it was kind of interesting, a little bit awkward, yeah, but, you know, it was amusing and whatever. I don't understand why you're making such a big deal of it. Now you've made it awkward, in which case, double just fuck me. Alright, we're going to grab ourselves a Continuum. Yes, we are, because it makes it look absolutely lovely and gives us quite the cool bits of color power. Yes, indeed. And obviously, if we put this on, we end up in quite the little flashy flashness, which is always good. And we want to grab ourselves a bit of Hemolacria. Yes, we do, because this turns it into something beautiful. I'm going to fire once, and then suddenly this happens. So we're going to go away from just completely breaking the air and laying things in. And what I was trying to say is, if I was here doing a video, like, alright, everything I just did, guys, was a deliberate, calculated risk, okay? Someone actually had broken into the house. They've left now, which is why I'm telling you this. But I thought maybe the best way to prevent them coming into my office is yell loudly about animals giving birth. Because, you know, even a burglar doesn't want anything to do with that. So I thought the awkwardness of having to try and subdue me or, you know, have that encounter might prevent him from stealing my computer while I watch. So I deliberately, tactfully chose to do that commentary in the world's first live while being burgled Isaac run. So that's what actually happened, completely truthfully, and therefore nothing was actually awkward because, you know, I was fearing for my life and that's what I had to do. Yeah, saved it right at the end there. Get in, or in the baby animal's case, get out. Okay, I'll stop now. So we fire once, they split into 4 and then go mental around the room. It's all real cool and real good, right? You know, it's fine. It's looking pretty decent. Everything's okay. But what we want to do is slow down our shot speed to about the 3 marker, and then we will be in a bit of a better position. This obviously also gives us a metric ton of health, but don't worry, we will end up completely and utterly breaking this so hard on top of how it already looks, which I do think is pretty damn decent, if I do say so myself. We just gotta get so many blue caps. If there's a better way to get your shot speed down, let me know. But I don't think there is. So I'm just having to have a lot of mushrooms here. Just a lot of mushrooms. And there we go, looking good. Although, genuinely, what was true about all that? Yeah, look at it go. Oh, that ring, and then vwom, and it's just glorious. Vwom, and vwom, and it starts to get a little bit, you know. I'm going to do the boss rush like this, because I do like this one, and I think it's pretty good. And then we will get the final bit of on the next floor. Yes, we will. But what was true about all of that was that I have actually been watching nature documentaries recently, specifically Blue Planet and Planet Earth 2, as I said, and there's just some absolutely fascinating things. There really is. Like, the most recent one, a fish that when it reaches 10 years old, if it's female, lies down for 2 months and then is a male fish because it's better for the sustenance of the species. I think that's terribly interesting. I mean, to be fair, it's a good idea, right? Nature was like, alright, we need to make sure this species always has a good gender balance so it survives. Let's just turn the women into men when they get to 10 years old in fish years. I think that's probably a good solution there. It's like the people who designed the natural world. I mean, obviously, you know, the natural world happened naturally. That's why it's called the natural world, evolution and all of that jazz, but we're not here to get into one of those conversations. But let's just pretend for a second it was actually just a board of people coming up with animals. It's like they had deadlines to meet and had certain bugs and problems in the code of the world that they just had to fix really quickly. And when it came to these fish, they were told that, yeah, no matter all the simulations that we run, they just keep running out of males. I don't know what it is, but they just keep running out of males, and they just went, just patch the females into males in the next version. Alright, what's the next problem? It's just great to think, because there's so many little interactions like that. Also, look at this! Like, what is this? Oh, we're off. Yep, there we go. And to think it's going to get even more messed up than this. Oh my god. See, I've not even really properly used it at this stage of the synergy, so I really like this. Like, it's basically every damn colour that the game can produce at this point, which I think is a really good little part of it. The thing is, if I just keep moving around, it's probably going to be quite effective too. I have no idea. It's occasionally instantly killing things and occasionally just taking ages to do them, but you know, the reason I bring it up is apart from how fascinating I find all that stuff, and you know, I really like knowing as much as I can about animals, so I can be that one guy that goes, well, actually, that is this, and this, and it does this, and this because of this reason. Oh, you didn't know about that obscure species you've never seen before? Well, aren't you a little uneducated? I ruined it. I ruined it there. I ruined it, and I look like an asshole. But either way, I just find it really cool knowing random things about animals that you don't really need to know about. You're never gonna actually encounter a fish whose head looks like it was in Looney Tunes and got knocked 3 times and had one of those triple red lumps that come out, and that's just its permanent look. You know, you're never probably gonna be in a situation where you need to know how that fish functions, but it's still cool to do so, right? It's still pretty neat for that to happen. And what I was imagining while I was watching this is, because there's just loads of stunning camera angles of vistas of forests and deserts and oceans and mountains, and it's just all the beautiful varied places on the earth, and it got me thinking, what if you had the power, or say the curse, that if you were seeing this, you got kind of teleported through your screen to what was being shown. It only works on places that actually exist on Earth, so you can't go to fantasy made-up universes or anything, but say you're watching a video of some beetles in the desert, and you accidentally activate your powers, and you're now finding yourself stood in the desert like, well, God damn it. I mean, if you had a return way, like a return command, so you teleported back, then it would just be awesome fun, right? But if you didn't, it would suck. And the main reason that I started thinking about this is because apparently I'm a huge masochist. When it got to the ocean shots of schools of orca and sharks and loads of walruses and stuff in the Arctic, and I'm like, God, can you imagine? It would combine some of my greatest fears. Drowning to death while being eaten to death. And just the image of finding myself sat at my computer fine, and then a few seconds later falling through the air, screaming into cold Arctic water as orcas swim around me. Ugh, like that is terrifying to me. That's probably one of the worst ways to die. In fact, being eaten alive by some sort of vicious predator is probably got to be up there. I mean, slowly dying, trapped, and starving to death is pretty scary, don't get me wrong, but the idea of just having this powerful creature that for all your humanness, it doesn't give a shit. You're just a meal for it. Like, I think there's something poignant and powerful about that I really kind of like. And there's so many animals that can just absolutely mess you up so hard with very, very little effort. Hey, we got a few little glitchins in the air. Yeah, I like to call them glitchins, you know. It's my little pet name for them. I think it's a nice little pet name, you know. I want to know how the hell I have not cleared this boss rush yet. You'd think by now oh, okay, cool, we did it. We did it, guys! Alright, we did it. Nobody panic. We got there in the end. So I'm going to slip my PJs on. And then we will finally finish breaking this. But yeah, awful curse. You could never watch anything that showed somewhere that isn't close to where you live, because you just get sucked through the TV and be there. And oh, and what if you get sucked into the past? Could you time travel with it? And without a return switch, then you really are completely screwed. It kind of actually terrifies me thinking about it. I'm gonna grab myself the wafer too, just in case. I don't want to die, you see. I really, really don't want to die. I'm also going to mini-mush a little bit and take our range down to probably the sub 30 mark. That should be about right. So now we have this going on, okay? You fire a blast, splits into loads, and then it goes mental and bugs out the room, and that's all cool and all. You know, it's fine, but we can make it a little bit more ridiculous with the addition of our friend, my reflection. Because then we have this, which wafts round in beautiful colour, and then explodes outwards with its weird bendy sausage bloods. And then they all come back and start recoalescing. They go out again just for a bit of fun. Then they come back, whap round, and then they're done. Let me fire once. And all that, flipping around each other, looking good. Then waves go out, then they come crashing back together. Beautiful colour, mixing everywhere. And then all back. And then we have them broken in the air. Fire once more again. Flopping round each other. Lovely colour. And then they explode. Oh, these ones actually went grey and silver. Look at this. We've got a little bit of a monochrome look going on with the white and the red mixed in. Oh, a bit of purple just sprung up and then back together. How freaking cool is this, though? Like, it's just so mental. Every part of this is absolutely mental with just the small addition. And I love that moment there where it stops and just outwards before coming back in one of the most ridiculous displays of colours you've ever seen. But if I take this to the 2.0 level and we show it like this, oh, yeah. Now you can see where it's truly breaking. Like, good God! Isn't it not absolutely awesome? Like, look at that. So this is as hard as I can break the game with my Prism fun. And the thing is, you can, if you really, really want to, get yourself a little bit of wiggle waggle, which will change it slightly. You know, you got that going on, makes it a little bit more angled, but I'm not sure I inherently do prefer that. That's the thing. Oh, we got quite a little grey vortex that time. And then just this random darkness coming back in. Like, what is going on? I just feel like it's struggling to deal with it at this stage. It really is. The thing is, the others I mean, this one's kind of cool. I don't mind this one, but it also makes it a little bit too mental. As much as that sentence might not be something that's applicable. Oh, look at that! The awesome mixing glows in the middle. Oh, it's so cool. Absolutely so cool. And you can get the Ring of Defense. And the good thing about this is when you do get them bugged in the air, they do look a lot better like that, you see. So I'll do a floor with this, I think, at the very least. Or maybe even get to the Hush. And what you can do is have these following you round, which look amazing. Like, look at that. Is that not awesome? And then just suddenly mentalness occurs. Come on, my little colourful lot. Come on, over here. Yep, there we go. And we're off. Is it not just fantastic? Come on, over here. Any second now. And there we go. Oh, it's got to be one of the most multicoloured, awesome synergies I think I have ever done. And there's the explosion. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. Everything about it is just so gorgeous, mental, and broken. Which I guess you could, that's what I would describe myself, right? I'm pretty gorgeous, yeah. Mental and broken. Oh god, it got worse and worse as time went on there. So I don't know if I should keep that or not, because like, it's still fine without. But it's kind of cool with as well. Oh no, it's a difficult decision. Definitely difficult decision. Obviously, choose for yourself which one you find the most fun. I love this bit so much, where it's just like, come with me and you'll see. Oh, there we go. Suddenly, there, alright, looking good. And I have tried this with the turret. It completely doesn't work and it looks terrible. So, there you go. That's what's up with the turret. In case you were wondering, because, I imagine you were, as good old Synergy Labbers. I think that's about right? Oh, I like it. I like it. Okay, but yeah, don't you find that terrifying, the idea of suddenly being in an area completely dominated by wildlife? I mean, at least a desert or jungle, you're still on land, but being put in the ocean, that is so terrifying in so many ways to me. How are you not dying instantly there? Holy hell, you really think that you would. What I do need to do, what I just realized and forgot about, is add a few little defensives to this. Because what I would like, you don't really need to have magnetic tears or anything, but I do like a little bit of lost contact on it, just to make it that extra little bit safe. You can never be too careful with these things. That's what I'm saying. You can never be too careful whatsoever. You gotta have your measured approach here. You do. You just gotta. Alright, to the Hush. Let's see how it deals with this. I'd wager not very well, but then again, what do I know? What do I know? How animals give birth. Alright, come on, vroom, and then, yep, there it is. It's just such a sudden change of colours and states and a dark vortex. Oh, look, that just random pitch black one going past. Like, why? Why is it doing that? What has decided that needs to happen? Oh, here you go, Hush. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What have I done? There's even, like, normal tears coming out. Like, are you seeing it? What was that? Just dark cloud passing over. Why? That's so crazy. And some of those didn't even have their tail. Like, it's struggling. Well, it's not really struggling to kill it, but it's not killing it instantly because it just can't handle this much being on screen, I think, from the look of it. But I do like that it's effectively just washing all the other tears out the air as it go. Out the airs as it go. Speaking proper words is obviously a struggle for someone like me. So really, you should just be super impressed that I've even made it this far. What is going on? It seems like all the different tier modifiers are just really heavily competing for which one actually gets to be on. And it just can't handle it. Like, it can't decide what needs to glow where. It can't decide. Why do I keep finishing words really weirdly? Like, I don't know what's up with that. Oh, I love it when the dark clouds come in. It looks so ominous, like the fog of death. On top of the lovely clown colours of not quite as death, but still pretty death-like, I suppose, is true there. Oh. It's just so mental. When he flashes, it's going to look amazing, right? Like, totally. Yeah, that was pretty decent. I like the look of that. Alright, Delirium. I actually have a synergy that will send you delirious. That wasn't as cool or as funny as I initially thought it would be. Admittedly, I did regret that decision. Not as much as other decisions I've made, but definitely do regret that one. Come at me, mother's hand. I assure you, you're not going to be a fan of what you find. Wait for it, and vroom, vroom. I love it so much. And I think what I like about this is there's two very different, distinct states of this synergy that make it a lot of fun to play with, because you kind of get both in one. And you don't often get to experience that, do you, Mr. Fred? No, you don't. Even on Synergy Lab, I can't resist the default. Once I kill the Hush, I'm going to use it and see what happens. And in before, it's a better Synergy Lab synergy than the one that I've come up with, right? The default is actually like, come on, this is pathetic. You think this is a just you wait, Sonny Jim, for what I've got in store for you. I mean, that one cannot physically be the Hush, so I don't need to worry too much about it, presumably. Yay, we'll grab an extra little heart. Hey, hello, Delirium. Do you like all my colors? Yes, my colors like you. Look at them go. So it does loads of damage when it's still in the color state, but when it starts to go like this, it definitely lessens some, but I guess that makes sense, right? Because it's got a lot less coverage when we get to this one. That was very sudden. Like, I know this has definitely been sudden in terms of how it's functioned so far, but that one was particularly so. I'm not really sure how I'm taking so much damage when effectively tears can't hit me, unless I'm just taking a ridiculous amount of contact damage. But either way, because I might have to use the D4 not to die here, and I can't believe I'm saying this, this is the synergy. Let me know what you think. Its beauty, its power, its obtainability, your gut feeling, its survivability. All of those wonderful categories that make us love synergy so much. Let me know what you got. Where are you, Delirium? Accept your death, please. Just accept it. That's all you need to do. Just get your health nice and melted. The issue is I can't really see much of anything, which obviously makes it a little bit tricky when it comes to dodging, which is why lost contact is such an important factor in this one. But at the same time, it doesn't really help against contact damage. I mean, granted, I could be firing and then going Nord Leaf and just letting it do its thing, but at the same time, a part of me really didn't want to do that. See, I don't even know why we do get the pitch black ones, because as far as I'm aware, the pitch black ones aren't actually part of any of the colors, although does Infinite Tears phase from the bright purple through the pitch black to the white? Because I think it might do, actually. I think that's where it is, because it's like the tears are being locked to the color of whatever stage of continuum they happen to be when it happens. And that's really interesting that that's gone down the way it has. I kind of like that a lot. Oh god, I can take 2 more hits. He's very injured. This is a surprisingly intense Delirium fight for, well, I mean, the fact that we're toting something of this ridiculousness. Like, if this happened in an actual run, you would be pretty pleased. Hey! I actually just gained some health because she stomped on me. That is perfect. Yes, you are your own undoing, Delirium. You were your own undoing. I'm going to let the tears end now. I don't know if they will end in time before killing it. No, they won't. Sad times. They just last for so long. Look at them go. Spinning round with their colour. Looking good. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And pop. Okay! Alright, that one went mental. Look at that! And then we just got them stuck in the air. I love it so much. What would have happened? Not honestly horrible. Really, we got full health, really powerful, fast, sticky tears. And we've still got the previous one hovering in the room. I can dig it. My name's been Rage. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more. And now we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Rage Gaming with the video flow, shenanigans and Overwatch, and his fans all know that every single thumbnail that this man makes without fail makes you do a double take, catching your attention with every verse. See, say that you need healing but you're at his mercy. Get it? Cause it's a pun. On his channel, that's one of the better ones. Widow is venomous, I see no end to this. Cataclysm's imminent when Rage is in his element. Pandemonium is not familiar with irrelevance. Maximum Genji beam, oh so elegant. Jokes so funny, causing you to cry. Editing is quality as the noon is high. Yo, concussion man, shoot to the sky. Cap it all off with a goodbye.